Today we're going to be working on a 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe, and today I'm going to need to replace the radiator because it has a major leak. Okay, to remove the radiator, you will first have to remove these two mounting bolts, these two mounting bolts. You will have to remove the hood latch and rubber support screws. Also, the radiator fan bolts, mount bolts that are here and here. Now, hold on for a second. There are also, if you look closely, there are three 10mm mount bolts that support the radiator that you will have to loosen in order to take the radiator out, which is also connected to the condenser. So you will also have to move those as well. The next thing you will have to do is remove the engine cover, which is held down by 6 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remove those bolts and the engine cover is off. That way you can get to the upper radiator hose. Also, you want to remove the relief hose from the radiator and take off the cap. When performing a job like this, always remember safety first. You always want to make sure that what you're doing is safe and secure. Now, when removing the radiator, you first have to drain the radiator. So therefore, you have to have a wide pan or a wide plastic rectangular bucket, bowl, anything that could keep the radiator fluid from getting everywhere. Coolant, that is. So you could use anything that's plastic around the house, or if you have the proper materials to put it in, that works as good as well. But if you don't, there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. You can still use household items. It's okay. Just make sure you dispose of it the right way. Okay, now, as you can see, I have the whole front bumper off of the car just to make the job that much easier. Now, you don't have to do it that way, but me, I prefer to work smart, not hard. So I removed the whole front bumper and I removed the engine cover so that I may have access to everything with nothing in my way. Now, to remove the front bumper, if you're curious, all you would have to do is remove one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 2 tabs on the end under the headlight, one on the left and one on the right. You have a tiny screw at the end behind the tire, in front of the tire on the left, and in front of the tire on the right, which are right there. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more black tabs on the bottom that you remove. And all you have to do is unplug the headlights and the fog lights, which are right here, and just pull the bumper right off. It slides right off. As we continue. Next, we want to remove the lower engine guard, which is this giant plastic piece, which also covers the oil filter, that little square box right there. Loosen these bolts out of here, here, also here, and you have a few along the bottom. Along the bottom, you have a few more. Remove those, then remove the lower engine guard. Now that we have the lower engine support guard removed, now we have access to everything. There's nothing in our way. Cooler lines, everything is out of our way. Anything we need access to, we have now. Nothing blocking us. Nothing blocking us. We have access to everything we need now. As we move on. Okay. Now we have our radiator unplugged. We have our radiator bolts out. We have our support bolts out, top and down through the bottom. Now, let's remove it. Now you don't have to disconnect the hood latch completely. It's not necessary. Some people do, but it's no need. Okay, so now we have complete access to our radiator and our hoses. Now we need to remove the cooler lines. Which are here. All right. And also the lower radiator hose. Once we loosen, I don't know if you can see it, that bolt right there, it's a 10 millimeter. And also unplug that line, which goes into the radiator, which has the yellow markings on it. We'll be ready to go. Now that we have everything loosened properly, we have the hoses off, we have our bolts loosened, we have all our hoses disconnected properly where they need to go, we have our top radiator support removed and out of the way, we have our cooler lines at the bottom that have been loosened properly, and our lower radiator hose has been disconnected. So let's remove the fan in the radiator. And here comes the radiator. After you remove the radiator fan, the next thing you're going to do to completely remove the radiator from the vehicle is remove the two top condenser support mount bolts that hold the radiator to the condenser. One on the left and one on the right. Both are located at the very top of the radiator. You also have two bolts on the left and the right midsection of the radiator that mount the condenser to the radiator. Remove all four of these. Move the condenser to the side. Move the mounts to the side, and you will be able to pull the radiator out of the car completely. Therefore, when it's time to put everything back, you're good to go. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.